If you're talking about BEE, I think it's really important that we understand the issues there, and that it's not reverse racism. That is often spoken about, particularly by white people. You know, that I don't have opportunities anymore. My children and young white people will come to me and say, you know, don't blame me for the sins of my fathers. I wasn't there. I didn't perpetrate all these things, and now I'm having to pay the price. Yes, and it's unfortunate that we have that type of situation. But I always remind them that perhaps they weren't perpetrators, but they were certainly beneficiaries.
Sure.
They were the beneficiaries of the system. And so they can't actually just complain about it anymore.
Sure.
The thing has to be righted. We can't have a bill of wrongs that continues.
Sure.
And we have an unequal playing field. And unless we have something that's going to raise the level up to some sort of, you know, equity and equality, what's going to happen? It's just going to carry on like this for centuries to come, and it's in fact probably going to get worse.
Sure.
So that the big income gap will just get wider and wider until something eventually explodes. So we have to have BEE, as much as some people don't like it, as long as it's implemented properly.
Sure.
It's about trying to address the wrongs of the past. It's quite simple, really. It's not a very difficult thing to understand. If you look at what has happened, we need to fix it.
So you have this refreshing view of white privilege. Do you want to just unpack what that looks like? I don't quite know.
Okay, white privilege, yeah. So I realized after some time that white privilege wasn't just about what you have. It's what you don't have.
Sure.
You don't have to live in squalor. You don't have to deal with police brutality.
Sure.
You don't have to suffer poor education.
Sure.
You don't have to live in a tiny house and have to take 3 taxis to work. And on. Yeah, you can just keep going on and on about that. So it's all the things that I didn't have.
Sure.
Which I realized when I started to find out about what was really happening in South Africa. That was my privilege.
And the things that the black had that resulted in this trauma we speak about. Do you want to just unpack that a little bit? Just this racial polarization trauma. The question here was its impact on entrepreneurship, perhaps even in performance in business. We had a leadership and mental wellness conversation, I think, a month ago. So another sort of wellness doctor wrote to me, and then she shared the statistics. South Africa, we rank almost close to the lowest by sort of our mental wellness index, if it were. And I imagine a lot still has to do with the legacy we've got.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think if you look at racism and the impact of that on people's lives and on the mindset of people, in terms of the workplace, it impacts heavily.
Sure.
Because people have lost their self-respect, their self-esteem. So what is going to motivate them to go out there and serve to the best of their ability if they don't feel that they are treated with respect and with dignity, and that their contributions are valued, and that there's fairness and equality? So if they don't have a sense of belonging in the organization, for whatever reason, there's no way in the world that they're going to go out there and serve their best, you know, in terms of customer service and other things. Why would they?
Sure.
I mean,
shareholder value.
I have never seen any staff arrive at a company singing joyfully about the pleasures of making profits for the shareholders.
White shareholders.
Well, the white shareholders in particular. So we have to understand that it impacts heavily on productivity.